What's up there, Dice Rollers? Paul here, and I'll be your DM for a while. Today I want to talk about what do you do when your players want to change characters mid-adventure. Well, before I tell you how I handled it in a recent game that I had, I want to encourage you that if you're brand new here to the channel, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being a part. Be sure to click that subscribe button down there, and you get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. So just recently, I had a player who wanted to change characters in the kind of a middle of an adventure. And of course, that for a DM, that can cause a little bit of panic or anxiety. It's like, well, how am I going to do that? Well, let me say this. First of all, I don't think it is entirely upon the DM's responsibility to make that transition. What I did was I worked along with the player and said, okay, sure, no problem. And it worked out well from a story arc perspective because her current character had just gone through a death curse. And they had gone through this traumatic experience of actually being near death and had to be saved out of that. And it was quite traumatic. But that wasn't the reason she was changing. I think she just got bored with the character, or the character wasn't really doing what she really wanted her to do, and that was fine. And so what I did is I worked together with her and just said, hey, okay, let's go ahead and figure this out. How do you want, first of all, tell me about your new character, and then tell me how that new character will enter into this scenario. And so we kind of talked about it, shared a little bit, and then we finally resolved that what she said, well, listen, and this is coming from both a player who's played for a while and also a DM who's at the table as well playing. She said, well, why don't you go ahead and do your story, and then when there's a story beat that sounds good, I'll come in. And so they are busy. They just got finished up fighting some zombies, and she said she began it was a good story beat, I guess, for her. And she says, you notice over to the side, and I had people do perception checks, but she says, you notice over to the side, there's a shadowy figure over there trying to sneak around. And she was replacing her tiefling bard, I believe, with a Kenku rogue. And so this rogue is now coming in, and it made for some really great role play because in putting some of the responsibility in the player's lap, they have to be responsible for the transition. And we worked in the background, and the other players didn't know this, which was really fun as well because it was an experience for them. They didn't really know what was going on. And so when the new player's character came in, she wound up role-playing with herself, with her current character and her new character coming in. And we also, in the background, her and I worked together where it was part of her backstory, that this Kenku was part of her family, had been a part of her family's administration over a city or kingdom and so forth. And so it worked out really well because it really did add value to the role play experience, but it also gave a great transition because she wound up going back and taking care of herself, her character, from that arc of being near death and being through a traumatic experience to now this kind of fresh blood that's coming in here and giving opportunities for the other players around the table to kind of interact with this new character that they had. So anyway, that's how I handled it. Maybe you have some ideas. I would love to hear your comments. Leave me a comment down below. Have you had a player want to transition? How did you deal with that? That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button. Let me know you like it and you want more of it. And until the next video, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.